Welcome back, everybody. The Ultramar Glen. So you've clicked on this link because you'd like to know what's a successful time for a 100-mile race, or an appropriate time for a 100-mile race. And there's a few things that we need to consider before we jump into this, and I'm going to try and break them down now at this point. First thing you really want to consider is the course that you're running on. Is it a hilly course? Is it a flat course? Because, hi guys, because that will have a huge impact on your time for doing the 100-miler. So, one, have a look at the course. If you're looking at a quicker time, obviously slower, flatter course is going to be the best option for that. If it's a thing that you're doing a hilly, more technical course, chances are it's going to be a little bit slower than if it was a flat course. But as I say, getting into what's an appropriate time or what's a successful time, you also want to be considering how much training time you have for the race, which to me is probably the number one thing to take into consideration. How much time you have spare to put into training for this race. Now that's not to say if you've less time than somebody with slightly more time that you can't be successful by training clever, and can't be quicker than training clever. So don't think that it's an excuse not to be as quick as possible. Another thing you want to consider is the experience that you have as a runner. Obviously, people that has done multiple 100-mile races are going to be a little bit more knowledgeable, a little bit more experienced in terms of knowing how to get through the hard times, knowing how to maximize the efficiency of the kind of on the day, getting through the course as quick as possible. So another thing to take into consideration when you're training and thinking what's going to be a successful time for me and for my race. And before I jump into the next section, I just really want to take this opportunity to thank all the recent subscribers and also the subscribers that has been with me from the start. I really can't tell what a difference it makes, that subscriber count continuing to grow. One, it gives me the confidence that people are getting information from these videos, that they're willing to subscribe and continue to watch. Is great. But also it's really helpful for the channel to grow, because YouTube's algorithm, I can't talk at the minute, YouTube's really puts the videos out more due to their system of calculating, and if I could talk I would be saying algorithm. It really helps other people to find content like this that might be looking for it. So I can't say it enough. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button and becoming a member. Also really helps, thumbs up. So look back into other things you want to consider when you're actually running your first 100-miler, or sorry, might not be your first 100-miler. Is where I was going with that, is if it's your second race, you've already got a starting time, you've already got a PB for the race, and it's really then going to be a case of anything that's quicker than that, you're going to feel that it's a more successful race. but a lot of it can come down to what happens on the day of the race. Most people that have watched this channel from the start will know that I've completed 2 100-mile races, or two 100-mile races. 2 what? Hold on, rewind. Most people watching this will know that I have completed a couple, 200-mile races this last couple of years. The first one, my very first 200-mile race, was in a time of 100 hours and 3 minutes. Really tough race, picked up an injury through it. The race, thought I wasn't going to finish, had to really dig deep, go to places that I never knew existed to finish that race. Sense of achievement after that race, 12, 15 out of 10, no doubt, sky high. Just to beat the cut-off time of 106 hours, which I did by a few hours, so it wasn't that it was right down to the wire, but I was certainly nervous for a long part of that race. As opposed to the following year, whenever had similar challenges, not as tough of an injury to deal with, had still an injury to deal with, managed to finish the race in 78 hours, a whole 22 hours quicker, and obviously again felt amazing finishing the race. Sense of achievement, beating my goal of 80 hours by 2 hours. Sense of achievement, not gonna lie, it was probably closer to 8 or 9 out of 10. So even though I went 20 odd hours quicker, or 22 hours quicker, I got as much out of my first race, my first experience, in terms of achievement. The time was quicker, but the achievement was greater in the previous race. Now, that is very hard to explain to somebody that hasn't come from the ultra world too much. Maybe you've completed marathons, half marathons, Ironman, and you're building up and you're stepping up to your 100-mile races. And that's why you clicked on this link originally, to think, what is a respectable time? What is a good time for a 100-miler? And I suppose what I'm trying to get at, my first 100-miler took 33 hours. Again, I have done much quicker 100-milers since. But my sense of achievement with that first 100-miler, because I knew zero, because I decided to do it 10 weeks out from the race, because I suffered so much during that race, sense of achievement regardless of the time was absolutely amazing. The fact that only 8 people out of 35 or 36 starters finished the race, and I finished in last place, again blew my mind. So going back to the very reason you clicked on this link, what's a respectable time, or what's a reasonable time, a successful time, or what should I be getting in my first, in a 100-mile race? I suppose what I'm trying to say is, it really doesn't matter on the time on the race. One thing that matters before it does come to time is beating the cut-off times. That's all you need to do. Now, as I say, if it's your second race and you've already got a time of, let's say, 100 hours for a 200-miler, or let's say 33 hours for a 100-miler, because that's what we're talking about, it's the same course. A year or two later, you should certainly be going out and trying to beat that time with the experience that you have. That's natural, that's understandable. But if you're out on that course, take a bad fall, have an injury, whatever the case is, and that time doesn't pass, don't throw in the towel. Keep moving. Get whatever possible time, the best possible time you can get on the day, and you never know, it might just be one of the more successful races whenever it comes to a sense of achievement. So hopefully that makes sense. Don't think too much on time on clock. Think of so more sense of achievement from the race. Everybody gonna want to get the race done as quick as possible. Every year there's going to be different circumstances for every race. Maybe you've had a lot more injuries leading up to a race second time round, and just finishing the race is going to be your goal. So don't get caught up too much on the time. Get caught up on things that'll make it a successful race. Is, have you pushed as hard as you could? Have you got your nutrition right? Have you got to the finishing line as quick as possible, given what you've had to work with in the training that year? So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully everybody's having fun on the trails and having a good time. Until the next one, chat soon.